Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Ghifarina Gani. I'm from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, and today I'd like to present my paper collaborated with Mr. Kurniawan, PhD, entitled Analyzing the Rhetorical Moves in Abstracts of Master Thesis and Dissertations of Soft Science and Hard Science Lecturers in Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And here is the today's outline. The first one is the introduction, and then the next is aims of the study. Next is methodology. The next and then findings and discussions, conclusions, and the last is a slide of references that I use for my paper. And here is the background of the study. Writing in academic context is a challenging field and a must, especially for the lecturers to advance science. The example of writing in academic context is writing research articles. In accordance with the writing research article, abstracts have become an important part genre, stated by Swells and Fick in their book. It is hard and impossible for the scholars to read many research articles one by one when doing a research. Sorry. Since there are many research published in a year, the scholars must be selective in their reading. So the abstract section is needed because it is a part of research articles that describes the whole research, also as the main gate for the readers to know the focus of the research. Besides that, stated by Bondi and Sons, 2014, abstracts are required for graduation works, such as undergraduate thesis, postgraduate thesis and dissertations, work proposals, short communications, and for specific disciplinary purposes. Because abstract is important, a number of research on this topic have been conducted. However, the results in one research cannot be applied in other research because of the different focus. Moreover, the study of comparing and contrasting abstracts of lecturers' final paper on different disciplinary may not have been done. So I think this topic is interesting to be observed. Writing a paper in English is challenging for people that use English as second language. This issue also happens in Indonesia. In line with these reasons, study on abstract lecturers' final paper in different discipline will fill this gap. This paper identified the rhetorical moves in an abstract. Rhetorical moves in abstract is a move or pattern that usually used to write the abstracts in a well-structured form. And this is the aims of the study. So the aim of this study is to identify and contrast the rhetorical moves, steps, and language features in master theses and dissertations of lecturers from soft science, or I took from English department, and hard science, which I took it from mathematics department, from Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia. And the results will be displayed in the forms of tables. And here is the methodology. This research used descriptive qualitative method. The 5-move analysis by HYLAND'S 2000 is the main framework to examine the rhetorical structure of abstracts in research article. The study elected 4 abstracts from 1 lecturer of English department and 1 lecturer from mathematics department. The abstracts are taken from their master thesis and dissertations. Before going on, I will explain HYLAND'S 5 rhetorical moves analysis. So here's the table. As you can see, there are 5 moves here. Move 1, introduction. It has 4 steps. Step 1 is arguing for topic significance. Step 2 is making topic generalization. Step 3 is defining the key terms. And step 4 is identifying gap. And for move to propose, it has no step, but the purpose is to state the research proposed. And then the next is move 3, which is method. It has 3 steps. Step 1, describing participants or data source. Step 2 is describing instruments. Step 3, describing procedure and context. And the next is move 4, product. It has no step and the function is for describing the main results. And then move 5, conclusion. It has 4 steps. Step 1 is deducing conclusion. Step 2 is evaluating the significance of the research. Step 3 is stating limitation, and step 4 presenting recommendation and or implication. And here is the steps of analysis. The first one is contacting the lecturer concerned to collect the abstracts, and then examining the move and steps using HYLAND'S framework. Next is examining the language features, which are voice, tense, and verb types. The next is tabulating the data into a table, and the last is making the conclusion and the discussions from findings. And here is the findings that we found from this research. So here's the general findings. As you can see, A1 is thesis for soft science, B1 is thesis for hard science, A2 is dissertation of soft science, and the last is B2 is dissertation of hard science. For the move, all of them use move 1 until move 5 sequentially. However, in B2 abstracts, move 3 and move 4 appeared repeatedly. As we can see, there is a cycle between move 3 and move 4. The mathematics lecturers here did some research for the dissertations. He used the previous finding to be the framework for the next research and find a new findings. The next is the move occurrence percentage. So you can see in A1, move 3 and move 4 have the biggest percentage, which are 29%. And then for B1, there is 38% for move 1, A2, 34% for move 4, and B2 is 40% for move 3. There is no significant difference here, as you can find, but there's no particular pattern. Okay, the next is step occurrence for each move. We found that step 1 in move 1, arguing topic significance used in all abstracts from different disciplines. As you can see, 1, 1, 1, 1. But for the hard science abstracts, it always has step 2 here and here. And for the move 3, which is in hard science, there are always step 3 of move 3, which is describing procedure and text. In move 5, there was no significant contrast between two disciplines, but the difference from educational paper was highlighted because the dissertation abstracts had the same steps, which is step 1 of move 5, deducing conclusion. The next is tense occurrence. As you can see, for A1, present tense has 57%, which is the bigger than the past tense. Also in A2, it also happened in A2, 89%, and for B1 it shared equal percentage, and the last is for B2, it is different from the other, which is 86%. But in average, present tense appeared dominantly in both abstracts. And then for the voice occurrence here, sorry, I forgot something. Here in the tense, present tense, as stated by Nurhayati in 2017 in her paper, present tense is used because this tense enunciates that this research is alive. In the purpose of move, the choice of using tense, past or present is basically a rhetorical or strategic choice than obligatory constraints. Okay, the next is voice occurrence. Voice occurrence, as you can see, active voice for A1 is 100%, for A2 89%, for B1 it shares the same, and the last is 73% for active voice. In average, all of them shared the same voice, which is active voice appeared often than the passive voice. In line with this result, the international standard ISO 214-219-76 has encouraged to use active voice as much as possible to make the text more clear and concise, stated by Liu and Zhang in 2014. The last is verb type occurrence. As you can see here, action verb in A1 is 74% bigger, is the biggest than the other verb types, and A2 is 44%. Actually, it's the same with linking verb, and in by one it is helping verb. It is unique because in this abstract, it has helping verb as the most as the dominant verb types that appears in the abstract, and the last is B2. It has action verb as is the biggest percentage, which is 53%. But in average, action verb have the biggest percentage among all of the verb types. Okay, in conclusion, all of the abstracts use the moves completely. However, the abstracts of dissertation in hard science has a cycle in using move 3 and 4. Move 3 and 4 are used often in soft science abstract, while in hard science abstracts, move 1 and move 3 is the most used move. Both abstracts use the steps similarly. It also happens to language features that are similar between both disciplines. The active voice, present tense, and action verb are used dominantly in both disciplines. So, as you can see, all of the abstract here use the rhetorical moves by HYLAND well, so they make the abstracts well structured. And for the further research, I suggest you to have more data source, so the difference or the contrast will be shown significantly. And this is the slide that and this is the references that I use for my paper. I think this all conclude my presentation today. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.